5 kids sitting here and they see that, oh, in fact, yeah, they are uniformed cops, and you know, they're coaching us. What's with that?
Toronto Police 31 Division sits 2 blocks west of the intersection of Jane Street and Finch Avenue. Community Response Sergeant Steve Hicks patrols the area daily. But several times a week during the school year, Hicks and a fellow officer put aside their policing hats in favor of wrestling mats.
Westview Secondary, probably the most culturally diverse school in the city of Toronto. Has a history when you see the high school grading that they do every couple of years on their, I don't know how they do the grading, but it's listed in the newspaper. I think it's the Star that usually does it. It grades all the high schools as far as what they have to offer, their education, that type of thing. And this school, unfortunately for them, gets graded, I think out of, let's say, 600 schools, it's in around the 570 area. And predominantly has a bad reputation in this division. We've seen through that. There's a lot of great people here, teachers, students, and administrators. And like any school has its issues, but more than welcome for us to come into the school at any time. They engage us with the kids, and we run all kinds of programs here. We were approached about 2 years ago by a principal here saying that they had a new teacher coming fresh out of Teachers College, a female, Jen Klish, who was a wrestler at university and wanted to start a wrestling program. Did I know anybody who had any wrestling background? I said, well, in fact, I did. I wrestled at McMaster University and for the Scarborough Optimist Club as well as the Hamilton Wrestling Club. So I said, I've got some background. I can give her a hand if that's what she needs. He goes, great, get in. You've already got some other stuff on the go at the school. Let's get it going. As that came about, I remember that there was another new officer that came to our station, brand new recruit as well, Sean Garris, who I knew was in the mixed martial arts as well, had a huge background in Olympic freestyle wrestling as I did, and far superior than I ever was. First year we helped out and we had 4 kids that were kind of dedicated, but it was a start. And Jen worked her butt off, but it was frustrating because we couldn't get the numbers, and said, we'll give it another year. She was here last year as well, and last year we had 9 registered. So we more than doubled our numbers, but and out of those 9, 7 went to the OFSA finals, which is the provincial finals. So we did fairly well for the 9 wrestlers we had here. And now this year, Jen Klish has moved on to another school to further her teaching career. And Sean and I were left saying, well, who's going to run it here now? We didn't have any teachers. Mike Kelly is a new teacher to the school this year, so I don't know anything about wrestling, but if you guys want to maintain the coaching aspect of it, I'll be the teacher rep and help out. And we said, let's go. Little did we know, in 2 weeks' time, we've gone from about 19 registered wrestlers. We now have 36 on our roster, and on average about 25 that come out to practice on a regular basis, which is phenomenal. When we first came in, and you know, Jen Klish introduced us as police officers, Sean and I were in our wrestling gear, and they all kind of looked and said, those guys are cops? And we got involved in practice. It was kind of easy to start it the first couple. Then we came the second week and we got called into duty. We had to come over to explain to Jen that we couldn't make practice, but we were in full uniform, and it was a whole different reaction. They all kind of looked, we're taken aback that, oh my God, you know, 5 kids sitting here, and they see that, oh, in fact, yeah, they are uniformed cops, and you know, they're coaching us. What's with that?
These guys are genuinely interested in what's going on, and they are terrific athletes themselves, so they come in here. It's not phony. The kids, I think, would sense any kind of phoniness right away, to be honest with you, because, you know, kids are seeing cops out in the neighborhood all the time, and they see the bad side. The cops that are on patrol may see the bad side too, but you come in here, you see something completely different.
As long as you control his head, he's done. Okay?
Grab his head?
Yeah. Grab his wrist and his head and bring him right down to the ground. And move all your weight backwards. He's got nowhere to go but straight down to his face.
We don't lecture them, but we teach them. I mean, we teach them wrestling skills, but we also teach them that they have to do well in school first, or you don't come out to our mats. You can practice, but you have to do schoolwork first. The other thing is you have to be committed to your team members and the school. There's no cursing and swearing. There's no misbehaving. It's all about respect.
The crime is kind of glorified on the news a lot. I mean, someone get shot today and you hear about it for like the next 2 months, but if anything good happens, you hear about it for today and that's it. So that's what I think.
But you feel safe in the school?
Of course I feel safe. Because I wouldn't come.
Here, clear it, and you come in. Pick it up.
we took some of the bullies and some of the kids that think they're tough guys, and we actually approach them and say, listen guys, you know, you want to do something physical, you want to prove your toughness and your strength and your leadership stuff, you want to be the leader around here as the gang guy, why don't you come on out to the wrestling mats? We've got a practice going at 3:30. You can have a tussle, you can throw a few guys around and see what you've got, and 9 times out of 10, they're the guys that end up getting tossed around by the ones that have wrestled a little while, that would not normally be known as the tougher ones or the ones that can handle themselves, and it's a pretty humbling experience to these guys. They soon shut their yaps, they sit back and watch, and they're the ones that always come and say, hey man, how do I do this? How can I get better at this? Because they want to be able to show that they are still a tough guy, but in a productive way and not a negative way. And I think that's been the awesome thing, is that we've got some kids here that are known as being tough kids in the school and gang related, that do nothing that way when they're here at our practices or our meets, and they show complete teamwork and following the whole process and the program and doing what they're told. And it's been phenomenal to see.
You're trying to do a proper crossface there, and again, it's there. Same thing, it come across the face, right? Yeah. So he feels it.
Yeah.